Using EasyBib to cite a website. And let's be clear, it's really to cite a website article. Take, for example, National Geographic. Some students make the mistake of citing National Geographic as a website. Well, what you're saying is you're using the entire site as a source, which doesn't really make sense because the site holds video, photography, animal profiles. It holds television shows, kids programming. You're not really citing all of the information in this giant website. What you're probably citing is a specific article that's located within the National Geographic website. So in this case, let's talk about otters. So here's an article about otters. This specific article is what we're going to cite. Let's return to EasyBib. Website is the default. So we can go to all 59 options and find website, obviously, but website is the default. If we go back to our demo page, because it's the default, we can use the URL to cite. So again, we're not going to cite the whole website. Let's get rid of that. We're going to cite the article that we have found within the website. Returning here, they're asking for a URL. So we can copy and then paste the URL into their auto site. And what EasyBib tries to do is then pull information from that URL into these boxes. The next common error we find is that students then completely trust EasyBib. EasyBib is often wrong. Again, it's a great tool, but the tool is only as good as the person using it. So you then need to check through to make sure this information makes sense. Not just the red highlights, but check through everything. So let's start at the top. As always, there's a number of options of what type of source it is. It defaults to content originally published on a website. What you want to then do is look at your source itself and try to figure out if it is different than that. In this case, National Geographic does not tell us if it was published somewhere else. Therefore, we can use the default as our option. Next is article title. EasyBib often does a pretty good job of pulling in the article title, but as you can see, it pulled in a misspelling. The reason for that is this is web coding. This is not just text, but this is text built within the coding that creates a web page. Therefore, you need to double check that and realize that it needs to be corrected. An apostrophe should be there. We can also see that there's a title here and there's a title below the picture. This often happens on web publications because they want to create a title for the web page itself, this specific page, and then the article. In that case, either one is acceptable, so you may use one, both, or the other. Next is author. You can see they do not find the author on the web page. You then need to double check your article. Authors are often listed at the top of an article. As we can see, EasyBib failed to pull that in. If there's no author at the top, you're going to check the end of the article. And there's often a good chance that there's no article or no author at all, which would mean you'd leave it blank. But you can see we do have our author, so we're going to enter it into EasyBib. We've entered our author. Next is website title. This is almost always wrong. As you can see, they pulled website title and article title. EasyBib often confuses the article title for the website title. This is an error that you always have to check. If we go back, quite clearly, our website title is National Geographic. We've now corrected our website title, National Geographic, and next is publisher sponsor. That's whoever pays to publish this website. Easiest way to find that is to go to the bottom, find the copyright, which most websites list, and you can see National Geographic Society is the actual company that publishes National Geographic, the website. We can copy and paste that right into EasyBib. URL is often optional. However, for websites, many teachers like to actually have the URL, so we'll leave it, and EasyBib obviously does a good job of pulling that in. And then next we should have two dates in our entry. We should have the date that this was published and the date that this was accessed. EasyBib pulls that access date automatically. We have to go find the publication date. So let's return to the article page. And again, dates you're going to look for either at the start of an article, where we don't see one here, or at the end of an article. If we had found a date, we'd enter that date. We however, have not found a date, which is pretty common with website articles. So today's date will be entered into electronically published. It was published in today when we looked at it. So these two dates will match, and that's okay. You will never leave this date blank. We now have our two dates, and then we can create citation. And now we have our citation, author, article title, the website title, the company that publishes the website, the year or the date that the article was published, you found it through the web, and the day you accessed it. Also, the URL is provided. That's how you cite a website article.